This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you so know it, and so do I. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today's Thursday, August the 7th of 2025, day 219th of the year, and only 146 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM and hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Freeform radio never sounded this great. Or has it? Radio Big.
Okay, so how have you been? How are things going? Yes, a minor disappearing act. No, it was not because I was working. It's because I got sick. Like, I got sick that I couldn't even use my voice or oser, and I'm pretty sure you didn't want to hear all that slurping and sludging and all that kind of fun stuff. Getting better, on the mend, so that's why the vanishing act. So I apologize about that. Hate when those things happen, but let's just keep it real on what was going on. So that's it. So our show consists of safety in the news and safety. It's really the way that it goes. We talk a little bit about this, we talk a little bit about that, and we kind of let you know the things that we know that are happening inside of the worldo. We bring in some professional broadcasters and we'll talk a little bit about what the hell's going on inside of the world of the multiverse. And then we go from there. That's it. That's what our show consists of. It is the easiest way to look around and take a look and all that kind of fun stuff. So if you're good with it, yeah, I'm good with it. So audio, video, and text messaging is something that's available for you if you're interested in doing any of that.
Duh.
All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. And once you get there, well, everything's moving and grooving. It's the easiest thing to do once you get there. Simple process, and we talk, we move, we groove, and there is no doubt about anything else that is going on inside of the world of the multiverse. So with that being said, why don't we talk a little bit about what the hell was trending in the overnight right now?
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as we talk about the trends of the ends, notable and noteworthy, a Kiwi crew comes to the rescue in Antarctica. Also, an update on Diddy's pardon request. And Denise Richards' divorce drama in showbiz. We'll talk about that. Also, we'll talk about Howard Stern's 2-decade on the air are coming to an end. We'll talk about details about that in casting calls. And more details from the new book of Prince Andrew's. We'll talk a little bit about that, some of that stuff inside of the Royales, because that's what we do around here. So on the back sequence here, what we normally have is we have some people that come in from Feature Story News, and they start talking a little bit about what the hell is going on inside of the Galactica, of what's going on inside of the world. So let's go ahead and bring them in and let them tell you about what the heck is going on. So let's do that.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in New Delhi, I'm Neha Punia. India has hit out at the US after President Donald Trump announced an additional 25% tariff on the country's goods as New Delhi continues to import Russian oil. The Indian government has described Trump's move as unjustified and unreasonable. Rebecca Bunton has more.
Trade tensions between India and the US have escalated sharply with the announcement of an additional import tax on India of 25% to come into effect in 3 weeks, on top of the 25% that was announced last week as trade negotiations stalled. These will be among the highest on any US trading partner. Industry leaders in India have expressed shock over the move, which will impact sectors including textiles, gems and jewellery and auto parts. India's foreign ministry says that its oil imports from Russia are based on market factors, and it says the objective of ensuring the energy security of 1.4 billion people. Rebecca Bunton, Mumbai.
Donald Trump says more secondary tariffs are coming for countries that buy Russian oil after he was questioned about that 50% levy on New Delhi. The US president didn't specify exactly which countries could be targeted, but he hinted at China. Tony Waterman has more.
The president said he's planning a lot more secondary tariffs. Then he was asked if China could be one of those countries, and he said it could happen. Although there are a lot of questions about how much leeway he really has to hit China with any new levies, given the long list of contentious issues they're currently negotiating. But earlier on Wednesday, Trump hit India with an additional 25% tariff, citing Russian oil purchases. That tariff is going to take effect in 3 weeks' time, bringing the total levy on Indian products coming into the United States to 50%, which is one of the highest in the world.
A meeting between President Trump, Russia's Vladimir Putin, and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky could happen next week. Brian Shook has more.
The president is hopeful but not confirming an upcoming meeting with Russian President Putin.
There's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
Speaking from the White House Wednesday, Trump said his U.S. envoy had good talks with Putin this week. He gave Russia until Friday to agree to a ceasefire.
The legal team for Sean Diddy Combs has asked the Trump administration about a potential pardon after the music mogul's conviction on prostitution-related offenses.
Nicola Westmoreland, a member of his legal team, told CNN that they had contacted the White House seeking a pardon. But in an interview on Newsmax last week, Mr. Trump indicated that might not happen, saying that although he had been friendly with the music star, he had been very hostile when Mr. Trump ran for office, making pardoning him, quote, more difficult to do. Kate Fisher, Washington.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, bad news in the world of pollination. Urbanisation is now threatening entire communities of pollinators, and a new study by researchers in Finland suggests it isn't only bees that are in danger. Other pollinators that we don't often think about, like hoverflies and moths, have seen their populations decline by more than 40% in urbanised areas.
The problem with moths, for example, is that they are active at night.
Emily Ellis is with the University of Helsinki.
You know, when bees go to sleep, something still happens at nighttime in terms of pollination, because there's only some plants that basically give nectar at nighttime, for example. So those plants rely on nocturnal pollination. But even besides that, like, we love the birds in our gardens, right? Like, you know, blue tits need, if they have 10 chicks, they need 1,000 caterpillars a day, and that will be mostly moths. So you can imagine that they not only fulfill like pollination at nighttime, but they also are extremely important for birds and bats and other kind of things that are eating them as well.
The good news is that the Finnish study shows that the situation can be reversed. Urban areas that have emphasised the importance of developing green spaces and allotments are supporting more diverse pollinator communities, even as the decline continues apace elsewhere. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
The main news again. US President Donald Trump's new tariffs kick in, with the US hiking levies on strategic partner India to 50% for buying Russian oil. New Delhi describing Trump's move as unjustified and unreasonable. A meeting with President Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky could happen next week as Trump's deadline for Moscow looms. And that is the latest feature story news. Neha Punia reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' Best Life Insurance in 2021's list.
You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder Smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Another great hour of freeform radio. Or is it Radio Big?
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, yes, there you go. A mixture of things to talk about, no doubt about that, as we are hanging out here on this lovely Thursday. So let's start talking about it right away because, tariffs is the talk of the town. So let's not get away from those. President Trump added an additional 25% tariff on products coming from India on Wednesday in response to their continued purchase of Russian energy. However, the additional tariff isn't effective until another 21 days. So the tariff announcement followed by the meeting between Trump's right-hand negotiator Steve Witkoff and Vladimir Putin earlier on Wednesday in Moscow. Initial reports suggest that the meeting was productive. Related, the New York Times reported on Wednesday that Trump's plans to meet with Putin personally next week and is planning a 3-day sit-down, and would also include Vladimir Zelensky shortly after to begin formal peace talks. Meanwhile, President of Mexico hosted a trade representatives from Canada on Wednesday to discuss strategies for negotiating with Trump. Mexico has successfully stalled the imposition of tariffs another 3 months, while 35% tariffs has been implemented on Canadian products. So there you go. What do you think about all of this tariff talk stuff that we continue to discuss? It seems to be an ongoing thing, regardless of what the hell is happening. It's not like at any point do you go past anything without having that discussion, if you know what I'm saying there. So there you go. Some stuff to think about, no doubt about that. Also, wildlife management officials in South Florida have developed robotic rabbits to help cull the python population. The remote-controlled robo-rabbits run on solar energy and give off a scent similar to rabbits to attract python predators. When the encounter with a python is detected through cameras, the wildlife officials receive a signal at the robot's location so that the snake wrangler can be dispatched to kill the snake. So far, about 40 such robots have been deployed in the field. This is according to ABC News. So, hold on. A snake wrangler still has to go out there? That's kind of a weird one. Because you would think that once you get to that point, you would just have something that could manage the snake itself? Like, why would you not have like a shocker or something? I'm just saying. If you're on the screener, I'm not going to do the video, but I'll do this. This is is it? Oh, maybe not. I'm not going to do anything. There is a picture on the ABC website. Let me say it that way, of what the snake looks like, or not the snake, what the robot looks like. So there you go. Okay, take a listen to this. Italy's transportation ministry has approved a 13.5 billion euro project that will create the world's longest suspension bridge. The project will connect Sicily with the mainland once complete, spanning 2.3 miles. It will also handily dethrone the current longest suspension bridge that exists, that's in Turkey, by 4,189 feet. In addition, the 4 lanes of car traffic, the Strait of Messina Bridge will accommodate 200 train routes a day. And if it goes as planned, the project will begin construction early next year and be completed by 2032. Yeah, that sounds like a long time when it's all said and done. So there you go. Transportation ministry stuff. Yeah, what a fun time. Okay, let's continue talking about some other stuff. A New Zealand Air Force crew successfully rescued 3 people from an American research base in Antarctica on Tuesday. While no specifics about who was evacuated or the details about the medical emergency that have been released, the mission required careful planning in extreme conditions. Antarctica is in winter, meaning that round-the-clock darkness and extreme temperatures regularly well below zero. The crew landed on the ice runway while wearing night vision goggles and had to refuel without stopping its engines. The whole mission took about, 20 hours. This is according to CNN. Yep, according to CNN. So there you go. What else do we got? Okay, let's take a look at this one. The motorist cruising the Autobahn in West Berlin was fined over $1,000 after being caught going more than 124 miles over the speed limit. Known for its lack of speed limits, there is a section of the motorway that have posted speeds. The section there where the driver in question was speeding is only 74.5 miles per hour. This means that the man was going 200 miles an hour. In addition to the fine, the driver lost 2 points from the driver's license and received 3 months ban from driving. This is according to AP. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that existed. So there you go. Okay, so let's talk real quick about some things that are going on. Actress Kelly Mack has died. She passed away on Sunday battling, glioma, a central nervous system disease, according to a statement from her family. Mack is best known for her role in The Walking Dead. She was only 33 at the time of her passing. I don't think I'm familiar with this actress, but I probably should be. So there you go. Passed away at the age of 33. What else? Brad Pitt's mom, Jenna Etta Pitt, has died. Her passing was announced on Wednesday, and the post shared with the actor's niece. No details about her death were shared. She was 84 at the time of her passing. What else do we got? Actress Christina Applegate is currently in the hospital being treated for kidney infections. Doctors are continuing to monitor her on and off chance of the infection that could be something else, but she didn't want to speculate that it could be. Applegate is no stranger to medical tests and intervention, as she has battled MS for the past 3 years. So there you go. Also, director Francis Ford Coppola is recovering from the hospital in Italy after undergoing a scheduled procedure. On Instagram, he wrote, "Taking an opportunity while in Rome to do the update of my 30-year-old AFib procedure with the inventor, a great Italian doctor, Dr. Andrea Natale." The 86-year-old is also reportedly scouting filming locations for an upcoming project in the country. So there you go. Okay, what else do we have going on? Because there's always some stuff happening, no doubt there. Vice President J.D. Vance reportedly hosted a dinner with Attorney General Pam Bondi for the FBI Director Kash Patel at his home at the Naval Observatory last night to discuss strategy surrounding the ongoing Epstein-Files drama. Deputy AG Todd Blanche, who recently collected testimony from Ghislaine Maxwell, is also believed to have joined. But wait, Vance comms director said that in a statement there was never supposed meeting scheduled for vice president's residence to discuss the Epstein strategy. Speaking of Vance, Trump told reporters on Monday that Vance is likely their apparent to the their heir apparent to the MAGA movement. Trump also said that Secretary of State Marco Rubio is somebody that maybe or would get together with JD in some form. In other words, Vance Rubio 2028, ? I mean, I'm just asking. Sounds that way, right? That's for sure. What else do we have going on? Okay, let's talk about the Dow. The Dow gained about 81 points to close at 44,193 on Wednesday. The S&P increased by 45 points to close at 6,345, and the Nasdaq gained 252 points to close at 21,169. West Texas Intermediate closed at $64 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $66 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.17 on Wednesday, and Bitcoin ticked up that day, trading just around 115,000. Friday night's Mega Million drawing will be for a $166 million jackpot or a $75.2 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, you still have the opportunity to do so. Okay, take a listen to this real quick. Follow up: several media outlets and President Donald Trump confirmed that Sean Combs' attorneys have requested a pardon. While the White House refused to comment on the topic, Trump tells NBC that his team talked to him about Sean. The confirmation comes after Combs' latest bid of bail was denied. This is according to NBC. So there you go. What else? Would you be more outraged over a pardon for Diddy or for Tiger King star Joe Exotic? Just a question, something to think about. Also, Denise, divorce drama from Aaron says that her estranged wife Denise had no business showing up at his home asking about the dogs because she allegedly hadn't cared for them for years. He tells TMZ 2 years ago Richard moved out of the home that she once shared with Aaron into a nearby condo so she could film content for her OnlyFans. Aaron also revealed that at one point they had 55 dogs, 13 cats, and 2 pigs living at the home, where she says for the past 4 years were all cared for by her parents. Now, however, there are reportedly just 15 dogs living in the home. As for the dog that Richard claims that was put down without her knowledge, Aaron says that the 14-year-old pup had cancer, and the vet recommended making it a humane decision. So there you go. Some stuff to think about for sure. What else do we have here? Do we want to talk about this? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it real quick. Britney Spears is not performing at the MTV Music Awards despite a slew of online rumors. Insiders say that they don't know how the rumor started, but there is no 10-minute set of any performer happening, especially not one with Spears and her son Jaden. The last time the pop star, performed at the VMAs was along G-Eazy in 2016. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about. No doubt about this. So let me talk about this because apparently this is making the rounds real quick. So I wanted to address it if we could. After 2 decades on air, and it's really more than that, Howard Stern's radio show is done. And it's probably 2 decades on air on SiriusXM. Several outlets are reporting the cancellation this week while saying that while an offer will likely be made once Stern's contract is up this fall, he is unlikely to take it. Sirius and Stern are never going to meet on the money that he is going to want, and it's no longer worth the investment, one insider explained. It's likely that the two could strike a deal for Stern's library content. This is according to The Sun. So let me elaborate here, because I think that this is going to be some of the stuff to discuss for sure. Let's see. Howard Stern has been at SiriusXM for, since 2006. And his contract is coming up. And I don't think that there's going to be a renewal. And let's talk about this. And let me explain why I'm saying this. Stern is 71. And I think he's accomplished in his career pretty much everything that he probably wanted to accomplish at this particular point. So I don't see what would be in the benefit of him renewing. Unless it's something that he just wanted to do off again, on again. But here's my question. Because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. If Stern is to leave SiriusXM, what's going to happen with SiriusXM? Is it going to continue? I mean, because let's be realistic. Because of his show and his content, that is what caused the merger with Sirius and XM many years ago. And I'm not picking here, but I'm still just kind of trying to figure out what are they going to be able to do without him? Because that has always been the ongoing question of what will they do without him. And I know that SiriusXM has recently signed Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy fame to SiriusXM. But remember, her show is on a podcast, and she does have a live call-in show. But is that going to pull the subscribers in to take a listen to what's going on? And I'm not picking, because listen, I think Alex Cooper and what she's been able to accomplish has been pretty amazing. I'm not going to lie here. So I don't want it to come across the wrong way. But for when satellite radio, and Stern had joined it many moons ago, it was different. It was different than terrestrial radio. But podcasting was already around, but not as popular as it is now. So it's going to be interesting to see. And listen, regardless of what you say of what has happened with the Stern show, good, bad, or indifferent, Stern set that media up in regards of how things of shock jocks occurred. He had radio that he was able to pull people in and take a listen to. And I think it's always funny when people sit around and go, well, that show has changed so much over the years. And that Stern is now a bootlicker, or that he has changed the person that he is. The dude's 71 years old. I'm not picking here on the age thing. But, I mean, how many times are you going to do a Sibian ride on the show? And how many times are you going to talk about butt bongo at that particular age? I just don't think that that's going to be the norm. So that's stuff to think about. I know some people will be bothered by that, but let's just be realistic. The show had to evolve. It wasn't going to always stay on how he was behaving when he was in 20s, 30s, and 40s. It's just not the case. Just stuff to think about. Anyways, he's still the best to ever do it, regardless. So if it is the end of an era, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it closer towards the end of the year. That's for sure. Anyways, 32 minutes past the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and start getting into that thing that we call our main story.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about it. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world, a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff to talk about, and the world keeps on evolving, regardless of what's going on. Regardless of what we're doing, there's things always changing in our industry. And the common question that I get all the time is related to what books do I recommend and what conferences do I attend? And meaning not like conferences that I'm going to be talking at, but conferences that I attend to learn stuff, and which ones would I recommend? And I think it's kind of funny because of a happy medium between the two. Because listen, there are conferences and there are these things about what is going on inside of the world. And I think that there's some conferences out there that are just bullshit conferences, and let's just be realistic. And I think that there's books that are out there that are just bullshit books at the same time too. But that's my opinion. And that's the great thing about it, was there was an opinion asked, and so opinion is being given. If you go to a conference and it's a one-day conference, virtual, non-virtual, in-person, however you want to look at it, and there is only one speaker, and let's say, for instance, they're sponsored by X, the speaker is sponsored by X, and all they talk about at the conference is the sponsor, not really anything related to safety or how the big deal is that the sponsor paid for this speaker to be there, probably not the conference you're going to want to go to. Also, if you go to a presentation and the presentation only surrounds itself around a book, probably not the speech or the book you want to hear. Because listen, there is a lot of stuff that happens. There's a lot of stuff that occurs inside of our industry, and I always look at it as there's building blocks. It's the building blocks to get to where we are. And I went to a conference one time where a person referenced two very popular speakers, people that are well known inside of this industry. And then they referenced to themselves as the third person and how they were the third person that was going to change everything going on in safety. And the interesting part was they had taken this out of their dissertation. They had taken this out of their dissertation on how they were going to change the industry. And now, listen, I will tell you, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. At least it seems like it's been that long. And I don't think the person's changed anything inside of the industry. If anything, they've created stuff that people have had a lot of questions about. And I look around and I kind of chuckle sometimes. And I find it interesting that people sometimes believe their own hype, opposed to focusing on what's important. It's the focus on getting people back home. It's the focus on, I don't give a shit if my name's associated to safety or not. It should always be about, at the end of the day, did the work help or change anything? So many people get so hung up on legacy and can I change the way that things are structured, worded, and so on. Why is that important? If anything, your children should be your legacy, if anything. Everything else that we kind of do is important, don't get me wrong, but why are we focusing on these weird things? So, when you start looking for a conference, when you start looking for a book, look for books that will add value to the things that you have already done, opposed to trying to start everything off from scratch. Like I remember many, many, many years ago reading a book from Dave Ramsey called The Total Money Makeover. The books talked about people's budgeting habits and what you needed to do to move forward. At no point was he trying to create that he invented this stuff. He said, if anything, he took everything out of the Bible. His version is building on from what things are happening. And yes, I have been to conferences from Dave Ramsey where they build off of past strategies and sometimes related to the information of the books that are inside of there. Just saying. Think about it sometimes. It becomes extremely difficult when people are just kind of going, buy my book, buy my book. If anything, go to a conference where they're giving you the book. It becomes so different sometimes when it's all said and done. I don't know. I'm so confused sometimes.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. It's all about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Let me talk to you real quick. What is HelloFresh? With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Spend your time this month shopping for gifts and sipping cocoa, not stuck at the checkout line. Sign up for HelloFresh and get everything you need to whip up a fresh, tasty meal delivered to your door. Just choose your recipes, select a delivery date, and relax knowing that dinner's on its way. HelloFresh has over 45 recipes and more than 100 seasonal add-on items to choose from every week, so it's easier than ever to find something everyone will enjoy. Go to HelloFresh.com/safetyfm free. That's HelloFresh.com/safetyfm free to use the code safetyfm free for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/safetyfm free with code safetyfm free. And don't forget that this is why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
Warning. Listening to other radio stations could cause testicle shrinkage.
I'm talking the truth.
Okay, here we are, 44 minutes past the top of the hour. You are still listening to the Rated R Safety Show. And let's see, this song's called Still Trappin' by Asa. Songs readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. So there you go. We'd like to thank Asa for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. So there you go. Yep. A lot of stuff going on that one, no doubt about that. So there you go. Anyway, so let's start talking about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and the people at To Write Love on Our Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now and that things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, there's information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. I can tell you, you go there, it could potentially change your life. No doubt about that whatsoever. Okay, let's continue talking about some other things going on inside of the world of the multiverse. So you snooze, you win. Yeah, before making major decisions, many people say that they'd like to sleep on it first. Well, according to a science, that's not just procrastination. It's a good idea. A new study by PLOS biology found that short naps, especially those reaching deep sleep, can boost problem solving. In one test, 86% of nappers who hit N2 sleep, the second stage of non-REM sleep, had the aha moment after just about 20 minutes. Researchers believe that this deeper sleep stage may help the brain reorganize and strengthen important connections. Clearing mental clutter, experts say that the nap is ideal. Now, the ideal nap length should be about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how fast you fall asleep. While full night's sleep has benefits too, the researchers focus on quick naps. Sleep doesn't just rest the brain, it sharpens it as well. Improves memory and reduces emotional reactivity. Really? Reactivity? That's a word? I didn't know that. And supports better decision making. So next time that you're stuck, a power nap might be your smartest move. That's exactly what happened. I keep telling my boss, but he's all like, please stop crawling under the conference table. So if naps equal eureka moments, it's basically Einstein's with a blanket. I mean, so there you go. I mean, I guess that's just kind of one way to take a look at some of this stuff, if you give it some gander here. Anyways, let's talk about this before I get too far away into everything else going on inside of the world of the multiverse. What is it? What's today's date? The 7th. So we're a little over a month away from Conklin Conference 4 coming up. Yeah, that'll be happening September the 9th through the 11th in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Would love to see you there. We'll be talking about the world of human and organizational performance. Would love to have you there. Conklin Conference. If you look at the screen, there is a QR code currently. You can scan that to get more information. If not, you can go to safetyfm.com and click on the section that says live events. You'll see information related how Todd Conklin will be there, talking about the World of Human Organization Performance. Also, Martha Acosta, Bob Edwards, Jennifer T. Long, Andrea Baker, Mark Yesson, and I'll be there in a hosting capacity talking about the things going on inside of the world of hop. Would love to see you there. Would love to come out, hang out, and all that kind of fun stuff, and do all kinds of interesting things. No doubt about that. Anyways, that's Conklin Conference 4. Find out more information, safetyfm.com, and then click on the section that says live events. Well, outside of that, let me bring in my friend, my colleague, John Small, because he likes to talk about the world, about what is going on with the Motivation Minute. And I don't know about you, but I get pretty motivated when this guy starts talking because, you know, he's a happy-go-lucky kind of person, and I like it. So let's bring some John Small in right now and let him tell you about the Motivation Minute. Maybe tell you about the Motivation Minute? Don't know what's happening.
Courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and Jace Case Medical. The Motivation Minute. Courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Terry. William Carlos Williams said, "One thing I'm convinced more and more is true, and that is that the only way to be truly happy is to make others happy." I love this quote. I also agree wholeheartedly with this one. I do my very best to make sure our clients are happy. Now, I'm sure I've missed the mark from time to time, but never intentionally. We try to underpromise and overdeliver. Again, I wish I could say I always hit my mark, but I know I've fallen short more times than I would ever like to admit. When I help a client win, I win. If a client is not doing well, I feel the pain with them. It hurts me.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. In his book of prayers, Michael Quost writes, quote, "I'm afraid of saying, 'Yes, Lord, where will you take me?' I'm afraid of drawing the long straw. I'm afraid of signing my name on an unread agreement. I'm afraid of the yes that entails other yeses. Oh, Lord, I'm afraid of your demands, but who can resist you? That your kingdom may come and not mine, that your will may be done and not mine. Help me to say yes." May the Lord help all of us to say yes today. Lord Jesus, help us to pray, not my will, but your will be done. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
A shooting incident at Fort Stewart in Georgia prompted a swift law enforcement response. The shooter was apprehended within 40 minutes of the alert at the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area.
The Army reported no casualties, and the situation was quickly contained. Investigations are underway to determine the motive behind the incident. Base operations have resumed, with heightened security measures in place. Lawrence Keller reporting.
A devastating cloudburst struck Uttarkashi, India, triggering flash floods that claimed at least 4 lives. Dozens remain missing as rescue operations continue in the affected areas.
Heavy rainfall caused the Kir Ganga River to overflow, sweeping away homes and infrastructure. Army personnel are conducting relief efforts to assist stranded residents. Videos on social media show the extent of the destruction in the region.
Hong Kong recorded its highest daily rainfall for August since 1884, with 355.7 millimeters of rain. The deluge caused widespread flooding and disrupted transportation across the city.
The Hong Kong
Armstrong Observatory issued warnings as the storm overwhelmed drainage systems. Authorities are assessing damage to infrastructure and homes. Emergency services are on high alert to manage ongoing impacts. Chris Anderson reporting.
Japan marked the 80th anniversary of the U.S. atomic bombing of Hiroshima with a memorial service. The dwindling number of survivors, now averaging over 86 years old, called for peace and nuclear disarmament.
At the Peace Memorial Park, attendees lit incense sticks in remembrance of the victims. Many survivors shared personal stories to highlight the importance of a nuclear-free world. The ceremony underscored the urgency of preserving these accounts as fewer survivors remain.
The U.S. suspended live cattle imports from Mexico due to concerns over the New World screwworm, a flesh-eating parasite. The ban aims to protect American livestock from the outbreak detected in southern Mexico.
The Department of Agriculture is working with Mexican authorities to monitor the situation. Farmers in the U.S. are urged to inspect their herds for signs of infestation. The suspension will remain in effect until further notice. Kyle Norris reporting.
Stanford University announced layoffs of over 360 employees, citing policy changes under the Trump administration. The cuts are part of a broader restructuring effort to address financial challenges.
Affected workers include administrative and support staff across various departments. The university is offering severance packages and job placement assistance. The layoffs have sparked discussions about the impact of federal policies on higher education. Jessica Oakley reporting.
The 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act was commemorated amid new legal challenges to its protections. The landmark law, signed in 1965, faces potential restrictions in upcoming Supreme Court cases.
The act was pivotal in combating racial discrimination in voting. Civil rights groups are rallying to preserve its remaining safeguards. Legal experts warn that changes could affect minority voter access nationwide. Kevin Sanders reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
We're rocking all day at work because we don't give a duck. Autocorrect probably just saved my ass there.
Like I give a flying, you know.
Oh, yes, like I give a flying you-know-what. Anyways, let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 2021, Kevin Durant earns his third and Team USA's fourth consecutive Olympic men's basketball gold medal with an 87-82 win over France in the Tokyo Games. He scored 29 points. That happened back on this date, back in 2021. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, Jalen Hurts turns 27, Kyler Murray 28, Mike Trott turns 34, Sidney Crosby, 38, Eric Johnson, 46, Charlize Theron turns 50, Michael Shannon, 51, David Mann, 59, Maggie Wheeler, 64, David Duchovny turns 65, Bruce Dickinson turns 67, Wayne Knight, 70, and Tobin Bell, better saying, turns 83. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, it's Purple Heart Day and National Lighthouse Day. National Lighthouse Day. So there you go. Some stuff to think about. Okay, so let's see. If you need a rando for today, I have one of those for you. I just had my patience tested. I'm negative. If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. What's something you've tried that you'll never, ever try again? If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. If you're average, you'll do this 5 times in your life. What is it? Lock yourself out of your car. That's average? I didn't realize that. Don't most phones have apps, or most cars have apps now that you can open it? I mean, I'm just asking. I'm just trying to figure it out. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to sum up our time together. At the top of the hour, I'll be going over to radiobig.fm for the next couple hours or so if you want to come and hang out with me. If not, you can stay right here on Safety FM and hang out with the lights of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. So there you go. Some options for you of things that you can do. So there you go. If I can't leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this. A crisis does not have to build character. It reveals it. So it does not build character. It reveals it. So if you don't like what you're seeing, maybe you need to look more into the character. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it makes no sense to do what we do around here. I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.